All right, so welcome back, my bro. Checking all the angles with Papes. What's it now? Episode 7-ish or something to that effect.
Oh, we're back. Looking forward to it. I think we've got a good few weeks of rugby ahead of us. I'd say for the next 2 months, we're going to be thoroughly entertained.
Oh, yeah. Well, within the next few days, we're going to be thoroughly entertained, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Some of us more than others, seeing as some of us are actually going to Twickenham. But I mean, that is what it is. I'll be probably watching at Posy, putting outside TV on, having a little little fire. You know how it goes. Little nice Friday vibe for a change, eh?
Yeah. I've got dinner with the missus, and then we off to Twickenham for the rugby. I think it's going to be sick. But
So
we'll chat about
side?
that. Expected score, I think, later. That should be interesting.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. In the wise words of the Oaks from SA Rugby, box by 10. But we'll see. I think we've had chats over the last few weeks on WhatsApp and whatnot, and we both said that we need a bit of a statement against Wales just to show everyone we're still here. Look, it wasn't their best team, let's be honest, but you still need to score the points at the end of the day, and we did. And now all of a sudden people are taking us seriously again, which is quite funny for me. The guys have never disappeared. They've always still been there. A lot of different theories over why they've looked a little bit on the back foot for the whole year. And all of a sudden, well, we had one sensational performance against Australia. I also think Australia wasn't the best. But and then against Wales, same thing. But the Oaks showed that there's something brewing. There's something brewing.
Yes, it's all about peaking at the right time, and I think we wanted to time it right, so we're hitting our best 2-month spell of rugby. And with the combinations we got now in the death we've got, it's looking very promising.
100%. I definitely agree with that. And also, if you look at the guys returning at the moment, I mean, Sia put in 40 clinical minutes there. That was very nice to see. I think we'll touch on that a little bit later. Just talking about the whole overall situation there. And then, I mean, the backline they're pretty much firing. We're scoring some long-range tries. We're scoring intercept tries. It feels a little bit like the John de Villiers era where things happen. Things are happening.
Give me 1 sec.
As you can see, John is 100% taking a phone call from his missus, most probably, which is good. And we will continue with this chat definitely very soon. Guys, sorry for not having a chat in a while. It's been a hectic few weeks, work-wise and all of those things. But we decided that being so close to the World Cup, things are going to have to happen. We're going to have to set some time aside, and it's going to be an intriguing World Cup, I believe. I believe it's going to be the most competitive and open World Cup we've seen when I say we've seen, I think it's going to be the most competitive and open World Cup we have ever seen. SA has got a good record in France and World Cup, so hopefully the boys can keep that flowing. But it's exciting times ahead. A lot of Sunday games, which are going to be strange, but it's going to be an epic World Cup starting on the 8th of September, if I'm not mistaken, with New Zealand and France taking a punt at each other. It's going to be probably the game of Group A. What a way to open up the World Cup as well. And we've got the main man, Papes, blowing the first game of the World Cup. It is what it is. I mean,
is he getting the boys underway?
He's getting the boys underway. France, New Zealand, you've got Papes as your ref, bro. I mean, he's just going to check all the angles all the time. I mean, that's what he does and what he does best.
Marika was just on the phone now, and she said, I must tell you, she played a ladies cricket match this evening and she hit a 6. So nice
that's some immense power, and you need that. Clearing the boundary rows, right? That's a challenge.
Exactly.
Look, hopefully we can hit the All Blacks for 6 this weekend, but I mean, we don't know. We'll we'll see what happens, but it's going to be some interesting times. I went on a little bit of a rant while you were away on the phone there.
That's good.
Just saying the World Cup is around the corner. We're having probably the most open World Cup we will see ever. I think there's at least 7 teams that can, on the day, bring the cup home.
If they found form, it's theirs. I would say there's 4 teams that if they hit form this World Cup, it's theirs. If they become the form team in this 2-week period.
Not trying to be forward or whatever you would say, I know exactly which 4 teams you're talking about. It's the top 4 in the world, and only 2 of those teams will make semi-finals. Unfortunately, that is the way that the cookie crumbles. South Africa, France, New Zealand, and Ireland will face each other in the quarterfinals should they all get through the group stages. And that's pretty much a shootout for for the silverware. It is what it is. That's the strong side of the draw, but we'll see. We've seen so many a time, though, where one of the other teams on the other side of the draw just come through and shock someone. England in 2019, absolutely shocking the All Blacks, stunning them, and then getting stung like a bee, not dodging like anything in the final. So
by the booker.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I see you. Very, very good and interesting commentary on the upcoming rugby. I think let's focus in and hone in on Friday's game with an outlook to maybe the end of the pool stages.
Yeah, so I mean, a few things that I would definitely want to chat about on Friday. Just to give the background of the thing. We're not going to go into stats or anything like that. I wanted to look at the neutral stage between the Bokke and New Zealand, but I'm pretty sure it's heavily in favor of the All Blacks. But yeah, we're having the game on Friday night, 8:30 kickoff SA time. Not sure in England that's what, 7:30 now? Are you guys?
No.
Okay, good. Then we've got the match officials as the referee in the middle will be Matthew Carley from England. Solid ref. Hopefully, we'll get into it probably within the next few minutes, but hopefully no ref decisions will have influences on this game. We've got our assistant referees as Christoph Ridley, also from England, and then Craig Evans from Wales. And then in the TMO box, we've got Tom Foley, also England. So, I think it's a good panel of those that will be looking after the guys on Friday. No issues there. But, I think let's just crack
and
into
hopefully no issues going forward, because what we want to see, good, consistent refereeing.
I think the consistency is the key.
We're going to touch. We can go on forever about Farrell's red card. We haven't really discussed that, but
no, we haven't at all. Yeah.
I think World Rugby's got the next 2 months to up its reputation. So let's see if it manages to use it, because the way they handled Farrell's red card wasn't impressive at all.
Look, in the words of Andy Farrell, it was a circus. And I mean, for a guy that is literally the coach of Ireland, but that's your latte, I can 100% understand, because you have one disciplinary committee saying, nothing wrong with it. And then you have World Rugby telling you that it is wrong and it should have been penalized and it should have been red, it sends a weird message. But I mean, in terms of that, there's been some interesting things coming out in the last 24 hours or so, just on the way that that tackle was interpreted. The Australian panel, which was the disciplinary panel, they found that there was significant change of direction. But the thing that they did not take into account was the actual legitimacy of the tackle from the start. So Farrell always started high, always started with the right arm tucked. So in terms of that, and that is what World Rugby has come out with in the appeal, and they have said because of that, it was never a legitimate tackle. Therefore, there is no mitigating factors. Therefore, it is a red card.
Yeah.
Therefore, the ban is imposed. But I will just quickly touch on this because I don't want to dwell on this. He got a 4-game ban. That is ridiculous.
And they included Ireland.
Repeat offender. I don't know how many times. Repeat offender, went to tackling school at the start of the year, got his 3-week suspension taken down to 2. Now, all of a sudden, a clear-cut 6-week suspension, same year, has gone down to 4 games. I don't know. Billy Vunipola, he's got a 2-game ban, technically 3-game ban, but he's going to tackling school. So it's going to be reduced by a week. What is this tackling school? How do you not learn how to tackle from grassroots level? Don't hit the oak with your shoulder. It's very simple. If you hit him with your shoulder, make sure it's below the neck area.
Yeah.
If the oak is going down or anything like that, I understand it's a fast-paced game. Both those tackles, terrible technique. They never went down low enough. They always knew they're going to hit high.
Yeah.
England have a bit of a problem with their tackling technique, let's be honest. It is what it is.
We want to see it ruled out of the game. So I think you summed it up perfectly, and I'm not going to elaborate on that, so we can jump back into SA versus New Zealand. So you put the team on WhatsApp earlier, and I think I'm going to bring it up here while you start us off.
Okay, sure. Do you want to look at the box or the All Blacks first?
Let us look at. So I've got the South African team here. Let's look at the
Okay,
Bokke.
beautiful. Okay, so I mean, Bokke, look, we've gone for a pretty robust, hardcore team selection. It's a good team, let's be honest. I mean, within the last few months, they've been rotating between 23s pretty much the whole time. And I feel there isn't really an established A team at the moment. There's a few positions that are very interchangeable, depending on what we want to do. So, I mean, you've got, okay, the front row is pretty much, that is probably going to be the starting front row. Only difference I can see there is maybe Bongi starting with Marks off the bench.
Correct.
That depends on what they want to do. Then you've got Eben at 4. He's going to start. That is what it is. Mostert at 5. I've been thinking since the squad got announced that would probably be the preferred starting lock combo. With Archie coming off the bench. I think that is what they want to do.
Do you not think, just on the topic of Archie, do you not think that he could be used as an option when we want to front up even more physically than we do normally? And just give us that variation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's when you looked at last week's game against Wales, so him and John Klein play for Munster, and John Klein is 4 and Archie is 5. So at club level, that is where he plays. I would like to see Eben with Archie, I'll be honest. I think that could be a devastating combination if you have them together for longer rather than just a few minutes. But that all depends on what they want to do. Then, I mean, you've got Sia and Peter Steff on the flanks.
Peter Steff finding some form. at the right time.
Look, we gave him a hard time last year. We gave him a real hard time. And this Oak has stepped into that jersey this year, and he's finding 2019 form at exactly the right time. It's what we wanted to see. If he plays like this, there's no one else you're starting. It's as simple as that.
I agree.
You've got old Thormelen on 8. I mean, it's a toss-up between him and Jasper who you want to start. You can start either or. I feel Jas will bring more off the bench than Dwayne does. But in saying that, I also like to have Dwayne there at the end in the crucial last 20 minutes, being a calm head, giving that leadership. So I could see him in the big games coming off the bench. Then we've got old Foster on at 9. He'll just do what he does.
Nice to see him back.
It's nice to see him back. Yeah. No.
He's been look, I mean,
it was great to see Jaden back again as well as Grant Williams after that horrendous collision against Argentina. Good to see that he's also fit and firing again. But it's good to see old Fafster back. He'll just bring that bulldog mentality, the Jack Russell. He's just going to be nibbling at them. Oh, 100%. 100%. Then we've got old Lebokster at 10. I mean, he's
a big performance. I think this could be a performance for him that gives him a lot of confidence for the World Cup. So it's nice because he could single-handedly go out there and try to win us the game, and that would be huge for the World Cup.
I've got a question for you, and it's a question that I've been wanting to pose a lot of people is, do you want him to have the X factor that he does? I mean, on attack, he is unreal. We've seen some scintillating assists. We've seen a try or two. Do we want that, or do we just want the Oak that slots the points?
The test fly half. Like the typical...
Correct.
Yeah. I know what you mean. In Manila book, you're getting... Maybe could he be a raw Bowden Barrett? Bowden Barrett's at the start of his career that transforms into a more composed player.
That's where I was trying to go with this. Is it's very much what you have now with Barrett and Moanga at New Zealand. But we both know that Libok is striking it in the URC at above 75. So in the URC, which is the club competition for South Africa now, in Europe, he's striking above 75, and that's what you want. You want a fly half that hits it, or not a fly half. You want your goal kicker to be hitting it above 75. So he does have that. I feel we need to give this Oak the chance to get into that rhythm where the kicks matter. So every game that we've won, bar the New Zealand win that we lost, where he only came on the second half, his kicking has been erratic, yes, but we have ensured that we win the game with some wonderful attacking play. So do you sacrifice that? Well, that's the thing again, though, is...
But if you sacrifice it, is it necessarily going to make him a better goal kicker? Or are you saying, do you sacrifice that to get in a different sort of 10?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So we've looked a lot more live in the back line since he's played. You know, he looks like he sparks the back line. It's a difficult one. You just want him to but he hasn't played these big games like we will see. This Friday is going to be a big game. I want to see what he does when the pressure is really on and he knows every point matters.
What is Friday, a win Friday, going to mean to either team?
Well, if you look at the lineups, it's going to mean a hell of a lot.
Okay.
And that's exactly, So they had an interview with Eben Etzebeth yesterday, and they were saying like, "Oh, this is a warm-up." Some of the journalists like, "So how do you guys approach this?" And he just flat out said, "Guys, this is a test match. This is a test match between two of the best in the world. This isn't a warm-up. We don't see this as a warm-up. We here to win." And that's
Yeah.
what you want to see. You don't want to hear Oaks wondering like, oh, no, we're just going to go through the. No, you want to win.
A
You always
test
want to
against
win.
New Zealand. A test against New Zealand is it must never lose its consistency. I believe that's one
The
event
consistency
in
and the
sport.
aura.
It's the best. Each team is putting out the best regardless. There's no other
It
team
is.
in the world rugby where South Africa would put out their best regardless.
It is the two most successful World Cup teams in history hitting each other up before the World Cup. It is what it is. It's not going to be a warm-up game. This is going to be all-out war. That's exactly what it's going to be. I mean, you look at the teams. Both teams have been selected pretty much as good as it gets. I mean, these aren't just little warm-ups. These guys are going out to try and prove a point, trying to get one over the old opposition. It is what it is. It's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be an absolute firecracker. But just to finish off with the team, sorry, I got sidetracked there quite badly. We've got my pimps on the wing, Kurtley on the wing, and Willems at the back. And then you've got Andre the Giant, Esterhuizen at 12, and Kanan Moody at 13.
That's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people feel that he's taken to international rugby like a duck to water.
Well, he has, but let's be honest, so has Kurtley Arendse. They have both had absolutely sensational starts to their international careers. I'm glad to see we're trying something out of the box, in the sense of playing him at 13 where he's not recognized, but he has played before, especially at school level. That was one of the positions that he did flourish in. So it's going to be interesting. Look, it's not school rugby anymore. This is the real deal. This is the biggest. This is the biggest test you're going to get. You're going up against Geordie Barrett and Rico Ioane. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Let's be honest.
And then Damon Willems at 15. I like this. I still think this is probably one area where we, in my opinion, taking it slightly lightly. I think Willie is our best 15, but he's played a number of games. But I think Willie's our best.
This is always a sore point for me to discuss, because I believe that Damian Willems brings us just as much as Willie Leroux and fullback. He's got the crispy pass. He can read the play, but what he brings extra is he actually always makes his tackles, and he can chase Oaks down. And that's is an extra kicking option in terms of polls, but because everyone's going to say, oh, but we're losing the left-footed kicker. No, we're not. That's why you're playing Andre Esterhuizen, because he's got a monster left boot on him. So we still have both.
If he kicked for poles ever?
No, there's no chance that Esterhuizen will kick for poles. That won't happen.
I'm just saying, does he ever kick for poles from like 50 out?
No chance. We saw against Wales last year that Willems can kick the big kicks. Had to sink a penalty in the 82nd minute. We won. So there is BMT there. But again, I feel just give Marnie his time. He will warm up to it. And I think when the big occasion comes, I think he will be able to nail it. I really do hope so. But yeah. Then on
our bench,
our replacements. Yeah, we've got old Bongs there. We've got Ox, we've got Trevor. No surprises. Maybe the one surprise having John Klein and Archie there.
The talk
And
was that Mostert can just move to a loose forward if need be.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing there is that Mostert will move to 7, and Van Staden will come on for Sia probably after 60 minutes. I think they'll give him a bigger hit out than against Wales. Yeah,
And
then so
Arthur
Dwayne
on
will be.
for PSV.
Yeah, yeah, most probably. I mean, so Dwayne will probably be doing the whole game. And then you've got Reinach and Willie. So I mean, with Willie, that can be any of a few changes. I mean, he can come on for Willemse, he can come on for Libbok, and they'll shift Willemse to fly.
Yeah.
They could shift
Versatility in the
Willemse
background.
to inside center. They could shift Esthuizen into outside center and change Willie with either Moody or Esthuizen. So the chances, or not the chances, the options are wide open.
Yeah.
Feel there's a lot of versatility in that back line. There's a lot of versatility.
Okay, well, I think South Africa's team, we've touched on that. Let's move on to the New Zealand team. So if we look at their pack there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
quite like that they've gone for Dan Coles. There's Cody Taylor as well, but I think Dan Cole's experience against South Africa could be good. I'm a fan of his. And then their lock pairing is world class. Scott Barrett, probably the form lock of the world in the world at the moment, other than Irvin, if Irvin has an off day.
Yeah, look, so Brodie Retallick's still injured. They're taking him to the World Cup. He might only be ready by the 3rd or 4th game, or only by the knockout. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, you have a more than able replacement in Scott Barrett. And what's interesting to see is that they actually are playing Scott Barrett at 5 and not at 4. Because normally when Barrett and Whitelock play together, it would be switched around, because Whitelock is the recognized number 5 lock.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting that they're giving him the 4 shirt and Barrett the 5 shirt. But I mean, that's much of a muchness. And then you've got Luke Jacobson on the flank. So what's it? Shannon Frizzell has a hamstring injury.
Luke Jacobson's a bit of a new one, and I'm glad you mentioned Shannon Frizzell. Shannon, his game against South Africa was insane. And I think he's unlucky to be injured at this stage. When's he due to be back?
So with him, it's pretty much almost the same as Brodie Retallick. But I mean, with it being a hamstring injury, you're just never sure. You're just never sure. They're looking at about 5 to 6 weeks. So yeah, look, he has come the closest to being their new Jerome Kano as they've got. He's taken a few seasons to grow into that, but I mean, at the start of this year, he has looked on fire. So that is a bit of a blow for them, but very able replacement in Luke Jacobson, playing for the Chiefs. I mean, he's just solid, the young man. And then, I mean, you've got the captain, Sam Cane, at 7. You've got Artie Savia at 8. You've got Aaron Smith at 9. You've got Richie Moanga at 10. So this is pretty much as strong as it goes for the All Blacks. Yeah. And then you've got Geordie Barrett, 12. Rico Ioane at 13. Mark Talea on the left wing. Will Jordan on the right. And then you have got Bodie at the back. I mean, that's pretty much the team they played against us at Mount Smart. So there's only a few changes there.
It's interesting with Bowden, how he, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure he won a World Rugby Player of the Year at 10.
Correct, twice.
And then,
if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's almost the cheek of New Zealand. They go and they take the World Rugby Player, and then they're like, okay, well, we think we've got someone better than you at 10, but we're going to get you in the team. Or do you think he called the 15 move?
No, I don't think so. I think the big reason for that was pretty much a goal kicking thing as well. Where Bodie wasn't hitting it high enough, and they wanted that solid goal kicker, and hence Richie Moanga. I
That's
mean, this like
what's his name? Barrett. He's been kicking a lot for New Zealand.
Geordie Barrett takes the long
Jody,
range
yeah.
efforts. He takes the long range efforts, but I mean, what I like with what New Zealand have done now is Richie Moanga has taken that responsibility and he said, guys, I am the fly off. I am the general. I will take the kicks. If it's above 55, Geordie will take it. Anything within that, pretty much, Richie Moanga steps up and slots it. That's pretty much how it goes. This Oak, I do not know if I've seen him miss a kick for the All Blacks this season. I'm pretty sure I haven't. And that's what he does. He's done it for the Crusaders for years. They have been the most dominant club team in the world. Let's be honest. I don't think there's any team that will take them. These Oaks are incredible. That Oak is on a absolute wave of confidence at the moment.
So what do you reckon on Friday? How many kicks? And what do you reckon his kicks will be on Friday? Well, let's go into predicted score.
So look, I mean, I'll go into predictions just now. I'm just thinking like you will see Richie Moanga striking probably around the 90% if he misses a kick. Highly doubt that he will miss a kick though. Sure, predictions. Look, I think both teams have definitely picked sides that are there to win. Look, okay. What I'll give you two picks. I'll give you what my heart is telling me, and that is Boks by 3. But I will be honest, my brain is telling me that Boks by 3. No, that's all that I'll say.
Your heart and brain are together.
I will not let my dark my dark things it won't take over my prediction there. I think the Boks, we have the team. It's just going to be interesting to see how Moody will cope at 13 and if Lebok will be able to be the general that we need him to be. Let's be honest. Those are the two key facts for me in this test. Very, very excited to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, the other thoughts I will store way down in the memory banks.
Very deep.
100%.
Yeah. I reckon South Africa are going to win it, and I'm going to say 23-16.
That's quite a big statement to make. Look, I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be quite high scoring. I think there might be a bit more on the table. I think both teams might be scoring within 30 points in this one.
Sure.
I think it could be.
I don't mind that if I'm going to be in attendance.
No, definitely. No, definitely. For sure. I mean, that's what you want. Oh, to be absolutely electrified by the Oaks on the field. Okay.
Going to be all vibes.
So, okay, we've gone through all of that. There's two more points that I want to touch on quickly. The first one is Kulisi's comeback. Okay. This Oak buggered up his ACL. Anyone that has played enough sport in their life or followed sport long enough in their life knows ACL is, you're lucky. If it's a slight tear, you'll be 6 months. Bad injuries, normally 9 months. That's where you're looking at. Could even take a year. This Oak, between 3 and 4.5 months. I'm not 100% sure of the exact date. This Oak has made his comeback in that time frame. This is unheard of. I'm pretty sure I heard this stat. It was 110 days after his surgery that he played against Wales. You don't see this, not on a knee. This is incredible. And if you want to do yourself a favor, go look at the New Zealand show, the breakdown. All of their pundits have been in awe in how this is even possible, myself included. He came back against Wales and played an absolute barnstorm over 40 minutes. Looked like he hasn't missed a beat. Looks like he played last week and the week before that. I mean, that was incredible. I just wanted
Sure.
to.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I don't have too much knowledge on knees and knees injuries, so I'll touch wood quickly. But shit, that's incredible. I wish him well then. Anyone that can do that deserves all the success. So hopefully he can
No,
lead us
for
to
sure.
back-to-back titles.
It would be lovely. And then, okay, the last thing I want to touch on, which I believe is one of the best innovations that World Rugby has come up with in the last, since they started, pretty much, is this bunker system with the card system.
Agreed. I agree.
And I'm such a fan of this. I'm such a fan of this. I heard Nigel Owens talking about it in the week as well, where he said that he hopes, though, that refs will still give straight reds when straight reds are supposed to be given for foul play. 100% agree with that. But this takes a lot of the pressure off the on-field referee, and also it speeds up the game because we don't have these 5-6 minute long debates, or should it be yellow, should it be red.
Agreed.
No, give the Oak the yellow card, review it, let the Oak have his time to review it. Love it. Absolutely a massive fan of this.
Yeah.
Well done for
Good
World
call.
Rugby for actually getting a good system in place on this. It
That,
makes all the
and
sense in the world.
we actually should give them credit because they've done that and they went back and took on the Owen Farrell high tackle. So good job, World Rugby, and let's see if they can add to it over the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, we definitely hope so. Look, I mean, if they did not step in with the Owen Farrell thing, I think there would have been absolute pandemonium. Let's be honest. If they didn't do that, oh, I mean, look, I feel in a way for Owen Farrell because he will be labeled now as the bad oak. It wasn't him not giving him a ban. So it's not his fault. It is his fault for tackling like an absolute clown for the last forever. But other than that, not his fault. The guys that made that first decision, absolutely appalling. Well done, World Rugby, for stepping in. Still feel that it's a bit lenient, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens on that side of the draw as well. But yeah, that's that's pretty much that. Oh, look at that.
So I've just brought up the pool stage matches, and let's have a quick talk about these. So I've marked all these fixtures in my calendar, and I'm literally only prioritizing my day again around watching me. I can't wait.
Look,
it's back into the World Cup.
Look, I'll be honest, as a South African, all these Sunday games are a bit of a difficult one.
I'm taking.
I mean, you want to have your bra and your beer and your brandy. It'll be interesting to see what we do. But yeah, I mean, opening it up against
Ireland is Saturday.
Ireland's a Saturday. Look, I still feel the most important game is the first one. We need to beat Scotland. There's no ifs or buts about that.
Yeah.
We need to do that. It's crucial. Scotland are not in terrible form at all. They are looking dangerous. Beat a weakened French side and then just lost to them in the last game that they played. So they're looking good. Yeah, wow, what a group we have. Let's be honest.
It is. It's a tough group, but I think if we play if we aim to play an international rugby standard by our standard of what we say international rugby is, I think we'll turn all those sides. Ireland will be a game, but that's enough to qualify for the playoffs. So
Look,
there is a buffer there, but I don't think that'll ever come into question. I think it's the Ireland game to determine which route we want to the final. Hopefully.
let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
New Zealand or France, who you want to face in the quarterfinal?
That's such a huge rugby match. I think.
Who you want to face in the quarterfinal? You want to face France in France, or you want to face the All Blacks?
I mean, that game right there, if you win that, could you say you won the World Cup?
No, you can definitely not say that.
I think as South Africans, if we want to make it back to back, we've literally got the hardest route to the final. But I mean, I think we can do it. I think the guys are peaking at the right time. I mean,
look, we have to believe. We have to believe. That is the only thing. Have to believe. And if you ever want to win a World Cup, this is the road that you want to face for that glory. If you want to be the first team to win it 4 times, this is what you have to face.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. I'm very optimistic about this World Cup. That quarterfinal game is make or break. But if you do the quarterfinal like that and you make it to the final, you've got so much to take from it. Imagine, Glennie raised this question, imagine between now and the 8th of October, we turn New Zealand twice.
I think it's 2 weeks between the last pool stage game and the... Oh, okay, no, I might be wrong. Okay, well, that would be lovely.
There's an owl outside my window.
There's an owl outside your window.
Yeah,
just don't let the owl call your name. If you've ever read, there's a book. I heard an owl call my name. Don't tune that owl. Like, nah, foot sack. A little bit of history lesson there as well. Some book knowledge.
So that's the outlook to the end of the group stage. I personally think that we definitely winning 3 out of 4 of those games. I think could Ireland be on a bit of a plateau? They don't seem to be showing us enough. Like we're doing changes and positional changes, player changes, growing as a team before the World Cup. Ireland seem to. I don't know.
Don't take them for fools. These
But they do it every World Cup though. They peak just before the World Cup.
No, they peak during the group stages, and then in the quarterfinals somehow they always find a way to lose. But I don't know. This feels like a different Ireland team. They feel different. They've been one of the first Ireland teams to go to number 1 in the world, and they sit there pretty, and they don't look like losing it. I'm just looking forward to this. I'm just looking forward to it. I don't know what's going to happen, but oh my gosh, it's going to be incredible, absolutely incredible.
So who your front runners for the World Cup?
Oh, you know what my answer is going to be. It's always going to be the Boks.
And then who's your dark horse?
My dark horse is 100% Eddie Jones and Australia.
You think so?
They are absolutely nowhere. I don't know. I just feel that they can ride a wave of something.
Galvanize. They can galvanize at the right time.
Look, I'm looking forward to seeing the Pacific nations this World Cup with all of the eligibility rule changes. Samoa's got a good team. Fiji's got a good team. Tonga's got a good team. I feel there's going to be some nice upsets in this World Cup as well. Hopefully not anything for us, but I'm I'm just excited. I can't wait. I
Yeah,
absolutely cannot wait.
it's going to be a spectacle.
That it
I
will.
think I'm going to go Boca this World Cup, and Argentina, if I'm not incorrect, if I'm not wrong, are on the other side of all this madness on our route to the
Correct.
final.
They
So
are
I would put
actually
them
with
down as a
England.
dark horse.
They are with England in the group. Australia is with Wales. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I'm going to put Argentina down as my dark horse.
That's
Imagine they hold, just silly, but imagine, I'm going to actually look at odds for that. Argentina to hold rugby and football.
I don't think that has ever happened in the history of the world. Be very honest on that. Pretty sure, no, 100% sure that has never happened.
Yeah.
So, well.
Something's brewing there. It's the world is so skew lately. I'm going to put money on that. That's my outside bet.
I would be sad if that happens. I will be honest.
Yeah, rugby will be broken if that's the case.
Look, at least it stays in the southern hemisphere, but yeah, I
Imagine going to
won't.
Buenos Aires to face the world champions.
Nah, it just does not. Or Mendoza going there, like, nah, world champs, nah. Nah, the Boks must bring it home. That's the only thing we can say. Let's be honest. Come on, boys.
Come on, boys. Come on,
All
boys.
right.
Yeah,
So
so I'll send you videos from the game on Friday. For
thanks,
sure.
bro. I can't wait to see that and be super jealous. Um, but yeah, enjoy it. And definitely bring the gears to the O's. Pretty sure
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of Boks supporters there, being in Twickenham, being
Yeah,
in England.
it's supposedly a sellout.
Oh yeah, it is a sellout. No, it's 100% a sellout. So that's going to be something to behold. Enjoy the spectacle, my bro. And
Yeah, I will.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure we've checked all the angles tonight.
We've checked all the angles, my bro.
Beautiful. Well, have a good one. Enjoy the next few days before the big one. And we'll have a chat again soon.
Cheers.
Like a